Hey, what up folks, Graphics Rogue here, and I am here with another Rome 2 online replay for you. I am playing as Sparta, and my enemy plays as Rome. This is normally the exact opposite of the matchup you want if you're playing as Sparta. You do not want to play as such a great sword faction as Rome. But I've been listening to some advice I've been seeing in the comments that maybe Sparta is not the most useless faction. Maybe they can be viable in some ways. And more I think about it with other factions, and more I've learned about barbarian factions, how they can be useful. Every faction I think can be useful in some way. It just depends on the player, your opponent, and the build. I think every faction can be useful in some way. Just some factions like Sparta and the RDI I've been hearing. I don't have Pirates and Raiders yet, but I hear the RDI are very weak. I'm not sure, but even Sparta with its weak units, they do have mercenary Cretan archers, which are new. They have been added in one of the recent patches, and that really helps their standing. And they do have some of the best hoplites and some of the best cost-effective pikes in the game. So maybe they can be used to some good effect against even skilled players. Because I've always thought even against skilled players that know what they're doing, you just can't win with Sparta. But maybe you can in some ways. So I'm just trying to test out the viability of Sparta with a few matches here and there. So he sent ahead his Vigiles to try to soak up my airfire, but I'm not falling for that. I'm not aiming at him. And he sent ahead his Velites, so I quickly trying to mop them up. But he's also got two auxiliary Syrian archers, and he's got a bunch of auxiliary cavalry on the flanks here. So I'm moving up my forces. I'm trying to lay down some fire on his archers right now to try to take them out early. I got one of my archers on fire arrow duty at all times because I want to keep the morale low. Yeah, that cuts down the morale there, see? Yeah, but his cavalry's starting to swing around. He keeps putting into Testudo, but I'm not aiming for him. I'm aiming for his missile units, but he's pulling back now. He doesn't want any of that. My plan is I want to fix him in the position here, but he doesn't want any of that. He's pulling his whole infantry around the flank over here. He's just gonna try to completely flank around. He's got his cavalry over here. And he's got a few token units here to stop me from doing any big maneuvers to keep him from outflanking me here. He's crashing into me with his Velites and these Vigiles. He just meat shields. He doesn't care about those. He doesn't care about the auxiliary infantry. He only cares about these Evocatis over here. And he's swinging around with this big auxiliary contingent. Are the auxiliaries better than the citizens? 37, 28... 40, 37. Yeah, auxiliary cavalry are better than the citizen cav, I suppose. That is unfortunate. But yeah, he sees a lot of problems here. I'm getting my guys out of position. He's smashing in there. He's trying to find gaps. Yeah, he's trying to smash through these gaps to try to get to my Cretan archers to try to break up my pike formation here. And I'm not paying attention to these Cretans. They're getting too far out there, and I don't want them to do that. But he's starting to smack in here to try to get into the backs of my pikes, but I'm stopping him with my cavalry, just trying to pin him down. I don't want him to get there. I'm gonna start concentrating fire on some of these cavalry units. I want to take them out early. I'm gonna try to back up this cavalry fight with these Perioikoi and Spartan hoplites. I got some Spartan pikemen and Perioikoi pikemen. But he's got my lines all messed up here. I got my Royal Spartans over here trying to stop him from doing whatever he's trying to do over here. God, I hate these guys. They're so ugly looking. I hate these Smurf hats they wear. They really screwed over Sparta with the way they look. They look terrible. And over here, I'm just trying to stop them, but oh, he's just smashing through the lines in these little gaps. His micro is great. And he's going to be coming through the backs of my guys there. He wants to hit me on the sides and the backs of my pikemen units. He's in the back of my hoplites, trying to position my pikes, but they're so slow. The problem is Rome versus a pike army. That's how they won in real life. the Roman maniples are far more maneuverable. The Roman cohorts can just easily swing around the pikes just whenever he wants. And now my my citizen cav and my Pyroco pikemen, hoplites are starting to waver against these Evocati and all these auxiliary cav. We are starting to knock out some of their units. Did we? Yes, we knocked out his general unit. His general unit is gone, so that is going to really help with trying to get rid of some of his guys, but some of my guys are wavering and routing over here too. And I think these guys came back from routing. They will be trouble later on. We keep trying to pin his guys in. We're trying to pin these auxiliary infantry in with these spears, and we're not killing them fast enough. Trying to pin all their guys, but now they're beasting these Evocati. How much do they got? We've already got 70 kills. Now look at that, they're just beasting through. Now they're coming through with some more. No, those are my units actually. Man, they just don't know what to do. Look at that shot of the pyramids. That is nice. It is nice, but I'm trying to maneuver my pikemen over here to prevent any rear charges, because soon my lines over here are about to be broken, and then they'll be able to smash right into the backs of my general units and all the units over here, and I'm not done dealing with all these cohorts over here. So I still got some Cretan archers to use. I'm trying to position these guys to prevent the enemy from maneuvering around to attack my lines over here, but he's so maneuverable. The Roman cohorts are just so maneuverable. They're just going to get completely around my guys. And my pikes are just so slow. Look at that, they just swing right around those pikes, and they're right after my Cretans. They want a taste of my Cretans, but we're finally starting to rout a lot of these units over here. Evocati are about to be done with, but they're just going to catch up to my Cretans over here. These auxiliaries are getting a little bit caught up here. Hopefully we can take them out fast enough, and basically, these Spartan hoplites are the only things stopping these cohorts from smashing into my blob over here. But we finally got rid of those infantry units. Those Evocati cohorts are now running as the cowards they are. But we are starting to lay down as much fire and pikes on these cavalry as we can. We're trying to knock them out, but they're not dying nearly fast enough. They're taking out so many of my guys, but they're finally starting to waver bit by bit. They have taken a lot of losses, but so have I. I am really low on Cretan archers. I'm really low. But I maneuver my pikemen over here to try to position my guys onto this blob of Evocati cohort, because I want to surround them, get pikes all over their sides. But he sees this, and he does not want this. He is pulling his guys back, and he is going to make a defensive line of his own. And so I wasn't able to surround him and capture him at this point. I think maybe my general may have died at that point. Don't quite remember, but I think my general may have died already. And we have pretty much almost taken out his cavalry units, but he's taken out so many of my Cretans. I've only got one Cretan left, and he's coming around for another smack. And he is smacking down my Cretans one more time. He is suiciding these guys, because he just wants to take out my Cretans, but I'm doing everything I can to stop him with my pikes over here. And he doesn't notice the Velites over here are still alive, but he will, and they'll annoy me later. But oh, he's given so much death to my Cretans. They're barely alive. That we are finally starting to waver his cavalry, and they are done for. Finally, so now these Pyroco pikemen are now free to go help deal with these cohorts. But here's the mistake I made. Probably one of the worst mistakes I made at the end of this battle, which I should not have made. I have all these units. I should have just pike boxed. I should have just stuck in my position and pike boxed, because my guys are getting exhausted, and they're going to get more and more tired the more I run them around, and I'm chasing these units. That's the problem. I try to pin them down with these Cretan archers, the ones I have left over here, but they're not enough to pin them down, and they're just running right through them, and I'm chasing these maneuverable Evocati cohorts. I see they're exhausted. That's probably one reason I wanted to chase them down, because I saw they were exhausted. I know if I could just get them pinned down, if I could just pin them down, I could kill them, because they're so tired. And my guys are not exhausted yet, but they will be soon. They take every opportunity to smash into the sides of my pikes here. He tries to go around. He's gonna want to go around and smack right into the backs of my pikes there. And I'm trying to run these guys into position to help my lines. No, they're not getting there fast enough. They're just not getting there fast enough. And every inch these guys are moving, they're getting more and more tired. All my guys are getting so tired. And he's hitting my guys out of position, out of formation, and just he's smacking my pikemen over to the sides here, and he's pulling these guys back because he knows he doesn't want to face the front of my pikes with those infantry. He's waiting for me to turn my pikemen around to face these guys, and then he'll just turn around and smack the backs of these pikes. He's very maneuverable, and he's keeping a good eye on his units over here. He's keeping a very good eye on them. He does not want to get them caught up on my pikes face to face. He wants to face them from the backs. He doesn't want to get caught up here. I'm about to get him caught up here, so he's going to try to move these guys out of this little pickle he's in. My guys just keep getting... The guys that just keep running around and getting out of position, in which I should have just kept them, and I try to keep them in a nice box position. I'm trying to smack the backs of these cohorts with these pikemen. He's not having it. He's trying to run out here. He's trying to get him out of the bad position and get his Romans into good positions. He's trying to run at me, then he's running back, running at me. He does not want to face my pikes. But now I finally got these guys turned around. But look at that. He's gonna try to turn around, try to find a nice meaty back of my unit somewhere. But these pikemen are running. They got out of formation for far too long. They got too many kills on them, and now they're running. And they smack right into the backs of these pikemen. That is just what the Roman wants to do. These cohorts are already starting to get some of their exhaustion out of them. They're not exhausted anymore. Oh man, they just mass rout of units over here. All my Spartans over here, they just got routed deadly, devastatingly. And I finally notice, at this point I finally see that all this running around I've been doing is not a good idea. So I just stop and try to think about what to do. I should not have been chasing these guys, and now I am completely surrounded. My enemy acknowledges that he completely turned this battle around. I had him on the run for so long, but now he has me on the run. So the only thing I can do is try to do a pseudo pike box. I got my pikemen back to back, but it's gonna do nothing to protect the sides over here. I got nothing to protect these sides. So my enemy knows not to run at the front of my pikes like an idiot and get his men killed. So he's gonna try to focus on the sides of my pikes. Oh man, this was a drawn out battle, but I feel like my game plan was sound. I just made a lot of mistakes I shouldn't have. Now he keeps running at my units, throwing Pila, and then pulling them back. That is a good idea. He's using up the Pila he has. He's gonna keep running at my units and throwing their Pila, and then running them right back. Run them forward, run them back. That's his plan for the foreseeable future, until he's exhausted all his Pila and his units have gained back some of their fatigue they've lost in battle. But the game plan was sound. But my enemy just was so maneuverable. He did not want to be fixed onto my pikes, so he maneuvered all his infantry around, getting my pikemen out of formation, out of the place they want to be, and they just got all squibbly squabbled. And he just took advantage of it. He always took the time to smash into what the weak parts of my hoplites or the weak parts of my pikes. His infantry units could deal with any of my hoplites. My hoplites can last for a while straight on with his infantry units, but eventually my hoplites will be taken out. They will be slaughtered. So he is thinking about what to do at this point. I think he's pretty much out of missile units. He's starting to slow down his charge and pull back tactics. So yeah, he's just thinking, alright, the best idea I can do is just smash right into the sides of these pikes. And that is what he's going to do. My pikes are starting to waver, and he's just going to smack right into the sides of these guys. And now he's just going to charge at all angles. These guys are routing, carefully not attacking the front of my pikes. And that is it for my pike army. It has been a costly enemy victory. A sound strategy. I brought four Cretians one archer to lay down some killing fire on his missile units, and I have my hoplites and pikemen. I got my pikemen to defend the front, and my hoplites and my citizen cap to defend the rear. And my general unit will help defend the rear against cavalry charges from the front. But I should have maneuvered my front pike line a little bit better to deal with his infantry unit just completely encircling my pike units at all angles. He did not want to face the fronts of my pikes, and that was a great idea. My opponent played this battle very well. He played it exquisitely. Look at that. Evocati cohort got 212 kills, 286 kills, 276 kills from these auxiliaries. He must have killed... This must be an auxiliary that killed a lot of my Cretians. I should not let my Cretians get undefended there. And a lot of times they just pulled right through a lot of my units. There's a lot of pull through in this game. He just pulled through a lot of my units to get to my Cretians, because he knew my Cretians were basically the only killing power I have in this army. I have killing power if he faces the front of my pikes, but he knows not to do that. So the other killing power Sparta has is the Cretan archers and the Rhodian slingers, and if he can get rid of those, the battle's pretty much done. If he knows how to deal with the remaining pike forces. So that was a great battle, fine opponent. I'm your graphics rogue, and I will see you next time with more Rome 2 online battles. Peace.